Hallo, herzlich willkommen zur zweiten Folge von AnnyTime TV. Ich habe meinen Gast jetzt hier bereits neben mir, Greg Cohen, mein wundervoller Bassist und Freund, der mich immer wieder auf neue Ideen bringt. Und ja, wir haben heute das Interview auf Englisch, damit es etwas flüssiger geht. Und ja, help me welcoming Greg Cohen. Woo!
Thank you so much, Annie.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here
It's a pleasure to have you here.
in the AnnyTime studios.
Yes. So, yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit.
That's good because I've been practicing talking. Every day I wake up and I talk, even if I don't need to.
Okay, so what do you talk about?
Oh, I don't even remember. I just talk almost like a parrot talks, just to keep in shape. Because, you know, sometimes there's no reason to talk, and then I think, oh, I have to speak to Annie, and if I don't practice talking, I won't be ready. So just to let you know, I've been practicing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what have you been doing during this crazy times?
Well, that's a very good question. You know, the crazy time keeps changing. So nobody really knows how long the crazy time was going to be until we went through it, or how it ends, or anything like this. So as a musician, I'm sure you experienced the same thing, Annie. A lot of things were canceled, or a lot of things were postponed, and then they didn't know when the postponing time would be, the new date. So I've been going through this shuffle thing where a lot of gigs, as we call them, had been moved to other dates, then those new dates were moved, and then those new dates were moved. But now some things are starting to come back. So I have some little things on the horizon, as I call them, kibbles and bits.
Kibbles and bits.
Yeah, like little dog food treats that keep me excited about each new day. And like tomorrow I'm rehearsing for a new piece that we're going to be doing in July. And on Friday, I go to Copenhagen, lovely, lovely Copenhagen.
Wow.
To play a couple of concerts with the singer there. And then off to Karlsruhe to do 2 concerts with an ensemble from New York,
Wow.
Mostly New York.
Okay.
A large production called the Ghetto Songs, which are all songs that are from different ghettos around the world, like Polish ghetto, Warsaw Ghetto, Venetian Ghetto, ghettos in the United States, ghettos in Germany, you know, all sorts of songs associated with these people who are kind of pushed into a part of society that they would have rather not been put into.
Okay.
But nevertheless, music continues, and these songs are there as a remembrance of the determination of people's spirit.
Okay, I see.
So this has got 2 singers, it's got cello, it's got bass, it's got accordion keyboard, it's got trumpet, it's got drums. What else is in this ensemble? Oh, guitar. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to play this unusual assortment of music tied together with this concept. And so, yeah, little things coming back. And if I'm really lucky, I get a chance to play with Annie.
Ooh, wow. That's wonderful. And how many rehearsals do you have in general? I mean...
It depends on each project. Some things there's only 1 rehearsal for, like if it's a little club gig, sometimes there's 1 rehearsal. If it's a bigger thing, like this thing that I'm putting together with an actor, we have 6 rehearsals, which is just enough time to forget everything. No, it's enough time to develop a new piece, and I think that's about the minimum amount of time you need for a new piece. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of like learning everything new. It's been a long time of waiting.
Yeah.
So I'm chomping at the bit. I'm ready to get back into the...
Get back on track.
Yeah, get back on the bass stool.
The bass stool. Yeah, we have been pausing quite a long time as well. So, but I'm so happy also when I work with you because you have such a knowledge about classical music as well. Not only not only about jazz or pop music, and I mean you also did some hip hop.
I don't see these names are all great to instantly give a feeling for that what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't see music in genres
Yes.
like those words. I see it as just people. So if I work with somebody who's called a hip hop artist, I just think of that person and maybe the interesting stories and the interesting way of creating music that person might have. Same with, technically you are a classical musician.
Technically.
Yet when we play music together, I don't feel like I'm playing a classical gig.
Oh, that's a compliment.
But that being said, this music is called classical music, which is actually just concert music. I love dearly, and it's amazing that I love it because from the time that I was a little boy, my mother loved this concert music, and she played the classical guitar, the Spanish guitar, that things like Villalobos and Rodrigo and all these kinds of pieces. And she would always have on the car radio, the classical station, listening to Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven, Brahms, you name it. And my brother and I hated it. We just
Really?
always tried to change the channel and put it on Chuck Berry or something. And she would get upset and she'd put it back on the classical station. And I just didn't get it. It just sounded like all these squeaky high violins. I thought, ooh, get me out of here. But then I was really lucky when I was in high school, which is when you're about, in the United States, you're about 14 or 15. I got a chance to take up this big old bass here and get in the orchestra after only playing it for less than a year. So all of a sudden, here I was scrubbing away in the orchestra, playing things like everything, Ravel, Stravinsky, Mozart, and I fell in love with the music. I just needed to play it to get inside of it, to understand why something is written that way. So at first I was worried about my own part, doodaloo, 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 doo, whatever it might be. And then I started listening, those oboes playing something nice over there. And listen to that flute, that's not as bad as it used to sound. And I started to just check out all the other parts in the orchestra. So by the time I finished that little chapter in my life, those 3 years of high school, I thought I wanted to be an orchestral bass player.
This was already in your mind.
It was in my mind, the little room up there for anything. I thought I want to be an orchestral bass player or a composer or something like this.
Yeah, that's cool. And then?
And then I also thought, I want to get the hell out of Los Angeles. Can I say hell on this program?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Sorry if I offended anyone. So I wanted to move far away to get off on my own. So I moved up to Northern California from Los Angeles, which was about a 10-hour car drive away.
Oh, wow.
So it's a long state.
So did you drive?
I could drive then, but I didn't drive. I just kind of hitched a ride with some people I knew that were going up north. And I started a new life up there. And I went to school and studied music. But I mean, there was no jazz program or anything.
Okay.
So I studied classical music. I was in the orchestra. I was in a chamber orchestra. I was in a jazz band. I was studying composition. I was doing electronic music. So I just wanted to eat it all up and do everything.
Yeah, to get to know everything.
Yes. I was searching.
Okay, that's interesting. So, and how did you come to your nowadays situation?
Well,
so, I mean, worked with many well-known, I mean, you're very well-known, but so when you're famous, you also work with famous people. But probably you just did your, I mean, how many influence have you on the work of your colleagues? Do you?
That's an interesting question,
Yeah.
Annie. And there's a couple of questions there. So
Yeah,
I'll try to connect the dots
yeah.
as best as I can. As any kind of artist, whether you're especially a performer versus something like a visual artist or a writer, performers are working with other people all the time because we're performing. So there's, you know, a band, or there's a composer, or there's a director, or whatever it might be. And over the years, you get a chance to meet new people, you know, either by moving to a new city or luck. You know, you might be lucky enough that's one of your friends, let's say Annie recommends to somebody that I don't even know, I know a bass player that might be good for your job.
Okay.
And then I get a call the next day from Joe Schmo. Oh, I heard that you play the bass. And it kind of goes like this. So this happened to me a lot in my life, just getting lucky enough to get recommended from somebody that I worked with for another job. So it's kind of like a little voyage that you start out on, and then you end up places that you didn't even know how you got there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to look back and say, oh yeah, I worked with so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. But maybe that doesn't really matter so much. What matters, in my opinion, is what I'm doing today, how I feel today, and if I was able to grow and learn from the experiences that I had from before.
Yeah.
Because they already happened.
Yes, that's true.
And, you know, perhaps this is what I love most about music, is that it's a kinetic art form. It does not sit still. And what I did 10, 20 years ago doesn't really matter so much, because it's not, it probably won't change what I'm going to do today.
Ah, okay, yeah, of course.
And it might prepare me for it a bit.
Yes.
But it's up to me to hopefully keep growing and to keep my mind open and alert and prepared for the things that could happen today or tomorrow.
That's wonderfully said. Very philosophical as well.
Well, I'm full of something. Sophical.
Sophical.
I'm philosophical.
Full of sophical. Yeah. And you're a very humorous person as well. So what's your weirdest gig you had?
Oh, you're opening Pandora's box.
Oh yeah, I love it, because normally people don't get to open this box, so I just show everyone
Okay.
this part of you.
Well, there's a few weird gigs. Let me decide which one I want to tell you about in front of these good people. There's good people on the other side of that thing.
Hello.
Hi, I see Joyce. Joyce, how you doing? And Ricardo. Oh, it's been a long time. It's good to see you, Ricardo.
Hello.
And how is Roberto? Tutto posto? Okay. Well,
Tutto bene.
it's a little bit dark, but I'll tell you this story.
Okay.
Years ago, I was asked to play a function at the Waldorf Astoria, which is like the most famous hotel in New York. And this was going to be the 50th wedding anniversary of this couple. And of course, who does these kind of arrangements when it's a 50th wedding anniversary? The children. So this woman, who was the daughter of this married couple, organized this event. So we were in one of the many event rooms in the Waldorf Astoria, and you know, typical kind of gig that a musician gets. They they have food, they're dancing, there's people that have come in from Hungary, China,
Wow.
all these relatives from all over the world that are wanting to be there on the 50th wedding anniversary. So we're sort of stuffed into the corner like bands often are. And I think for this occasion, there was me playing bass, there was a drummer, there was a guitar player, and there was a saxophonist. And we're playing, you know, some kind of silly dance music. And on the dance floor, I see, like they're mostly old people there, I see this guy that seemed to be having a little trouble. And he collapsed. And so they tried to see what was going on, and they brought him over by where we were. And lo and behold, this poor man was stiff as a board. He was out. He was dead. He was kaput.
He was like really
dead. That was
dead.
it. That was the end. And where did they put him? Right by my feet.
No.
And I hear this discussion going on of the daughter saying, we can't stop, you know, people, we spent 2 years organizing this event. We can't stop just because this guy died. And so there was arguments going on between the people that are working in the hotel that wanted to call an ambulance and, you know, do the right thing, and this woman who didn't want to stop the party. So they decided to just leave the stiff right by my feet and told the band to keep playing. So we're playing,
oh my God,
you know, in the mood. And I have this dead man at my feet while I'm trying to play. And it was really, that was the weirdest, you know, just in terms of weirdness.
You're really weird.
That was really weird. I mean, it's a little dark, but this is a true story. And this is the kind of stuff that does happen. You know, if you keep going out there in the world, you know, people are born, people die, people, you know, talk in tongues, all sorts of crazy things. And in a way, I like it. I like this side of being an entertainer. You get to interface with the world, both in a good and in a bad way.
Yeah, this is a little dark, weird story.
But you wanted the weirdest, so I couldn't lie. I couldn't lie.
Yeah, it's true. Wow, I didn't expect that. But that's a part of life. I mean, life and death. So.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, you were playing happy music, so I think.
Yeah, the people didn't know, so they were just.
No one noticed.
The party just kept going, and it took about 10 minutes for them to finally pull the guy out to the kitchen, and. So there's an old adage that says the show must go on, and this was my education for that adage.
You're real professional.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right. Well, and when you grew up, you also had...
I'm sorry?
When you grew up?
When was that?
I opened the box, guys. Yeah. So welcome again, Greg Cohen.
It's nice to be here. I'm so happy to be here.
So happy to have you here. Yeah, so, but besides of music, did you have other passions? I mean...
I've always had other passions. You know, like I mentioned, I'm from a family where my mother played the classical guitar, and she was also an artist. My brother always did music, writing songs and singing and playing the guitar and keyboards. My older sister, Terry, went into acting.
Okay.
And my younger sister, Jeannie, went into art, which she did off and on over the years in different ways. So we were all kind of into different avenues of the field of art. And my grandfather, on my father's side, who's named Benjamin Cohen, like my son, he used to take my brother and I out onto Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles and buy us, like once a week, buy us some something that he thought was cool.
Okay.
Like it could be a bag of stamps, or it could be he'd give us some silver dollar coin, or a little set of rocks, or some shells, or...
Wow, very poetic, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to inspire us to learn more about science and do something a little bit more constructive than plain rock and roll. So...
Shouldn't have brought the rocks.
Yeah. I'm telling you. So, but that got me into all sorts of things. Like, you know, now I'm deep into this world of minerals.
Right.
And I have my grandfather to thank for that, you know, because he was the one that started it all. And this is really kind of like my companion path right now in my life with music. I spend a lot of time studying and observing in many different ways the wonderful, colorful world of mineralogy.
Yeah, this is what I find also so interesting and fun about you. I mean, not only when people need help in music, they can contact you, but they can also contact you when they need minerals.
That's true. Yeah. I don't do taxes, and I don't do... But yeah, the minerals, I'm deep into the minerals, and I have a real strong appreciation for arts in general, especially because of my mother's background, fine arts, and my younger sister and my brother both are very good in art as well. Sadly, I never was able to pick up that side of the arts, but my brother and sister do very well with that. But I just happen to bring along with me some things that might connect the dots a little bit for these fine people out there. Oh,
yes. Ooh, say hi.
Yeah, who's out there? Isadora, yeah, it's been a while.
Isadora watching.
Gunther, ja, alles gut? I see all sorts of people. If you don't know, there's a white ring of light by the camera. So I can't help but look into that white ring of light, almost like I'm being hypnotized or something.
Mesmerizing ring light.
I'm normally a very calm, normal person. I don't know what's coming to me for this occasion. So,
very calm.
Actually, Annie asked me to bring some things from my mom because she knows that my mother's an artist. But I had to bring the bass over here on the train, and I couldn't bring a big painting. So I decided to share with you fine people today. Oh, I see Isabella.
Ooh.
I see, Frank, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hi.
Some small things, but you can see them and have an idea of what an artist kind of does. So.
Yes, so just by the way, we already had one exhibition of her bigger artworks during one of the AnnyTimes. And yeah, but today, and due to all the, let's say, Corona situation, we have to reduce everything. So yeah, let's see what you got.
I'm trying to reduce too. This is a sketchbook. So with a sketchbook, an artist quickly draws things. And since my mother worked in the movie studios as a sketch illustrator, she was very fast. So she could paint things in, the amount of time that most people spend putting on their shoes. Like maybe in 2 or 3 minutes, she would have something finished.
Wow.
So this is an example of some seagulls that she painted at the shore. Probably, I would say this sketch it's not a sketch, it's a watercolor, represents no more than 5 minutes of time that was spent to do this. Much like a Japanese brush painting or something.
Okay.
Very quick. In fact, it's all just gray and black, done probably with the quill of a bird. She used to use a quill of a bird to paint, except for the bill, which is yellow. A little touch of color.
Maybe I can bring it a little bit next so you can see this. Ooh. I hope it's in the camera. Yeah.
That's the AnnyTime camera that
Yes.
was just zooming up on.
manually.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of animals. She did a lot of animals. And so try to imagine that you were up close to two elephants, a mama elephant and a baby elephant, but they ran away. And then you'll get something like this.
Oh, that's so cute.
So
So
I don't want to make Annie do all the work.
oh no.
So these are elephants, probably painted at the zoo. She used to paint at the zoo a lot. So, but perhaps a little bit more interesting. Annie's looking at her watch. Like,
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, you see?
that is so whatever.
Look, I can just
Oh,
check our camera.
So I want to show you something very interesting. So this is a picture of my sister. That is a charcoal drawing
Wow.
when she was probably 2 or 3, or maybe, yeah, I guess that's about 2 or 3. I don't know. I'll bring this up
Yes,
close
you
till you
can-
find people.
Yes.
Oh,
Lower it a little bit.
Brunhilde.
Yes,
Good to
now
see
it's
you.
perfect.
Yeah, Oscar. Nice to see you again. And it's a good drawing, maybe not one of my mother's best, but what's interesting is that she did it on the back of this, which is a quick illustration for a storyboard of a script.
Oh.
So it says on the top here, 283 to 284, that's the page of the script. Then interior, INT, the cabin, I guess interior of the cabin, day, which means it's a day shot, studio stage, sky backing. So this was an illustration for a film. It says Ferguson and Jacques. So I was looking at this and I was trying to figure out what it was from. And just today I realized that I will let you see it at home or wherever you are, because people can be anywhere these days.
Perfect.
This is a storyboard illustration from the movie Around the World in 80 Days, which is a great film directed by Michael Todd, starring David Niven, and my mother was one of the main artists on this film.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
she had this stuff lying around the house from old storyboards, and she just used it as scrap paper. So that's kind of an amazing thing to me. You know, artists often do that. They paint on the back of canvases and all sorts of things because they don't always have supplies at their disposal. So I'll just show you a couple more things here. This is an old one that was actually in a frame at one point. And I think this was back when she was Lois Green, so this is quite old, before she was married.
Okay.
I think,
Let me stand up this time.
Yeah.
So,
I think what you're seeing here is an illustration from Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book.
okay, I see. So this.
And this probably is from the 40s. Quite old.
This is really. Yeah, it reminds me of the Jungle Book.
So she was into all sorts of things, and I would have to say a big influence on me when I was a little tyke. And yeah, so thank you, Mom.
Yes, thank you, Mom, for all the love and inspiration.
Yeah, and the whole family was very inspiring and continues to be with my siblings.
So do you also work together sometimes?
My brother and I have worked together over the years since I was 6 years old,
Okay.
but not so much anymore because he lives in California, I'm in Germany, and it's really hard to say, let's meet halfway in Atlantis.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, so you're all, I mean, the most part of your family is in the States. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
most part of my family is in the United States of America. My brother is in a little hamlet of Chico, California, which is not so little, it's a big college town in northern central California. Famous for, now famous not only for the college, but for Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, which is the largest, well, it was a microbrewery, but now it's the largest, like, you know, craft ale, I guess they call it, in the United States.
Craft ale.
And this brewery was started by an old friend of mine from high school, Ken Grossman, and it's one of the main employers of that city now.
Wow.
So he's done really good work there, and they have a concert space, and we should play there.
Oh yeah, we should play there.
And all sorts of things, a restaurant, but I must say, other than that, Chico can be a little bit sleepy for my tastes.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of impressions that you give us. I mean, from your past and your upcoming projects. Yeah, we also have a CD to record, actually. Ding!
That is true.
And how about we give people a little taste of what we do?
I think that's a capital idea,
Yeah.
Annie.
So, yeah, buckle up.
Just one more sip of vodka. And I'll
Just,
be ready.
yeah, actually it's not water, it's vodka.
I don't drink, so if I was drinking vodka, you'd all be in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe put the chair. And I just. So. Do we need to tune?
A little.
A little.
Can I have an A minus chord?
So for the people out there, what do we play today?
I think it would be nice to play something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Wait a second.
What's blue, what's old, but also new, and something we borrowed. Maybe the Rhapsody in Blue.
Wow, what a, yeah, that's true. Rhapsody in Blue, that's it.
By Georg Gershwin.
Georg Gershwin. Okay, let's see. This is like the short version we're doing today. Special version, a little sneak peek, so you would want to come to our concerts.
It's the Reader Digest version.
Okay. I did it. Little sneak peek. So, back.
We are back.
We are back. This was really interesting. I mean, let me check. I think all was good. Yeah. To me.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Greg.
Was a privilege, a treat to play some music with you again.
Oh, yeah, I missed it.
Me too.
Yeah, and all the fun stuff that we try together.
We're trying to do some new things with old material.
Yes, and the way we like it.
Exactement.
But still respectful.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because to me it was always quite an adventure because we're so stuck with the music, with the sheet, and we always practice hours and hours and work all the technical stuff and to do everything right.
I remember it well.
Yeah, you remember it well, right? And you opened this road for me, or you opened this door to this new world.
Nice to know.
Yeah, and I'm not so afraid anymore to improvise and.
Well, you're doing great, Annie, and it's not easy, first of all, ladies and gentlemen out there in radio land, television land, or whatever you're watching. Maybe you're in outer space and you've got some kind of new gadget that we don't have yet. But it's not so easy just for two people to get off of the page of something that's been sort of canonized as a through composed piece. And this little snippet that we played of George Gershwin, the Rhapsody in Blue, is a classical piece, yet George Gershwin improvised at the piano. He was like a jazz musician. And mostly he wrote songs for Broadway shows, and these became popular as what's called jazz standards. But when he played the piano, he could read his music and everything, but he was like improvising. And I think Bach did the same thing, and all sorts of great composers over the last 700-800 years have done that. So in a way, I think we felt it was okay to try to take some material that is available in the sheet music form, but say, hey, maybe we can kind of liberate this a little bit.
Yes, and make it something that's a work by this composer, but at the same time to turn it in our thing. Yeah. So,
exactly.
Yes, but in a respectful manner. Still,
yes.
Always emphasize that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's also very interesting to work this way, also to show people that it's not so. You can only learn for your own art. I mean, always working with other artists nourishes your own life. And
sure,
yeah,
it's
artistic.
One and the same, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I like this word you used, Annie, respect, because in a way, I mean, you could think of it as respect for the composer or the composition, but maybe I think of it as more respect for music in general.
Yes.
You know, we're all doing whatever we can to keep going, you know. Some people only read music off the page as a classical musician. Some people only improvise as a popular musician. And there's a lot of people in between that do both. But I think the respect comes from loving what it is that you're doing.
Yes.
You know, if you stop loving what you're doing, even if you're a successful musician, somehow to me that's not respectful.
Yeah.
Because it's turning the act of music making into something other than a loving thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's I always follow this philosophy that when you make something with love, everything will be fine. I mean,
Amen, sister.
I think I already mentioned that once, but still, I always follow this credo. It's like so important, and
Yes.
sometimes we get bored of what we play, and then okay, it's time to change. Then I think we shouldn't like really always stick to this, and then until you're dead, really
Yes.
just be free and open to change and new things.
I agree.
Yeah.
101%.
Only 101.
Only 101. I don't want to get carried away.
Centered.
There's Hugo and Marie on the other side of the camera there. I have to make sure I don't get carried away for them.
Yeah.
Barbara and
Dora.
Dora, yeah.
Günther.
Gunther, yes, we
Gunther.
said hi to Gunther.
Yeah, we said hi to Günther. So hi Günther again. Yeah. Well, I have a question.
Sure.
What advice would you give to young musicians?
Run.
Change your job. Don't do it. No,
No, that's a loaded question, Annie, and
Yeah.
I'll try to be sincere.
Yes, please. Because nothing gets cut for this
That's so great.
TV show.
Yeah, this is just us as we normally are.
Yes.
I would say to young musicians that music will help guide your life in a way that will become almost spiritual and become transcendental if you allow it to. And that being said, it's a job that you take on that's not easy. You have to be ready for a lot of hard knocks, failure, poverty, all sorts of things that might not seem so appetizing at the time of your life where you're trying to decide what to do. And I've seen a lot of young musicians decide that they don't want to hang with that. They don't want to worry about money so much. They don't want to worry about the dynamics between other musicians or what the music is being used for. Like maybe you end up working on a television show or in the theater. And sometimes this is hard too because people don't understand what the music is doing. So they sometimes abuse the musicians. So you got to be ready for a lot of things. But if you can hang with it, if you can stick it out, what I've experienced at least is that during my life when things were really hard, the music was always there. Music was like a shepherd watching over me and allowed me to get through difficult circumstances. And had I not had this very centered and very grounded life in music, I think I would have had a much harder time along the way in my life. So for me, I can say, in my case, music has been the guiding force, not just when I'm playing, and I don't care if I'm working with somebody that people know or not. It's the act of playing the music, which is allows you to get outside of the normal daily routine. You can feel like you've gone to a place that is special, that only you can visit through music. And this is something that money can't buy. There's no word to describe it, really. There's no price for it. There's no label for it. It's just this incredible feeling when you get taken away by the music. And if this is happening all the time, wow, what a great way to live, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of us have been sad for the last year plus during this COVID time, because we haven't been able to, not only haven't been able to play in front of people, but we haven't been able to have that interaction with our fellow musicians, to be able to hang out and talk and to try new things out. And that's part of the process, and that's part of the spirituality of it, in my opinion, because it's such a great community, such a strong community. They were constantly learning from one another and constantly getting supported and inspired by our fellow musicians. So for the young people out there that have worked hard and gotten to a certain level, if you think that you've got the tenacity and the ability to go through some tough times and you really love the music, I would say do it.
Wow. I think people would also like to know, since you're not teaching at the UDK anymore, if they want to find you and have your input, how can they contact you?
That's very easy. The Brandenburg Psychiatric Ward 10B.
Room 004.
Yes, my lunch break is from 12:30 to 1:30 every day, and then they put us back in the cages.
Okay, I see.
No, I'm just kidding.
Cut!
I'm a kidder. No, you can find me, actually, you can find me at the police station.
I'm in the cell.
How can you find me? Because I used to have this address. That's a very good question. You're
Yeah.
full of good questions.
Yes, I mean your wisdom and everything you share is so.
You can find me on Instagram, actually.
Ooh.
For those people who do Instagram,
Yes.
I have a personal account under my own name, and I have my mineral account, which is berlinrocks.com. So it's actually just Berlin Rocks, because they don't have com. But so if you want to talk to me about Stones, you can look for me at Berlin Rocks. If you want to talk to me about life and music, you can look for me in Gregory Cohen on Instagram. And yeah, I can talk up a blue streak.
Yeah, because sometimes so mysterious. You are a very mysterious person somehow, because last year we played for this festival, and people kept sending emails to random Gregory Cohens. Like they couldn't find you, and then they sent it to some random person in England.
Oh, that person owes me a lot of money. No, I do have an email address, so should I share that?
If you want to share it.
Yeah.
Or I can put it like under the video or something.
Okay, maybe that's a good idea. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming all you fine people are normal. Well, actually, that's not a nice word. Yeah, so you'll see it under the screen, and I do still teach, and I do do things other than playing the bass. I produce, I write, I just love music, so I look at it as a very organic and holistic art form that doesn't necessarily have to be split into little cubicles.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, so any other important things we didn't
Can I
talk
ask
about?
questions?
Okay, you go.
Okay. So I'm curious.
Help, Günther.
What is it like for you, Annie, to be doing a project like when we do this project here? What is it like for you to not be following a score? Does it make you uncomfortable, or does it feel liberating now? Or how is that for somebody who's pretty much been in this mainstream of classical music for so long?
At the beginning was really scary because the score was everything that I had before, and we always got this instruction, as you know, follow the score. But then when we started, it was very liberating because we chose what we liked, and and I got another sense for the music also, like just feel the structure, not just see the structure, just also feel the structure, and then just to live in the moment.
Those are good words.
Yeah.
And to feel the structure, that's really important. I mean, maybe notice I'm not using any music, so the only thing I have is that, to feel the structure.
Yes.
And hopefully, if I have something upstairs in terms of memory.
Ding dong. Yeah.
But I think it's great that you're doing it, and this whole concept of feeling the form, the structure, and also sort of taking ownership of our memory as something that's not just an intellectual property, but the memory being part of who we are, body memory, mind memory, intellectual, but also a spiritual memory, so that you can tap into this sense of freedom of just letting go and trusting that there's going to be a memory there for the music.
Yes.
That the music somehow has become a part of you.
Yeah. And you somehow, I mean, first I thought when I was playing like important works on stage, I thought I was like really responsible and had this responsibility to make music, and but this responsibility that I have, what we do, is different than the other responsibility. But at the same time, it feels like even higher. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, Jelly Bean. That's just being able to let go, you know. It's like the score is great to keep you in the place that you need to be kept, but maybe it's nice to, I mean, you see a lot of great conductors conducting with no score.
Yes.
And I think, well, Barenboim's one that usually does not use a score. And I think that's to allow you to put yourself fully into the music and to feel it, to feel that synergistic flow as you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, that's, for me, that's so important.
Totally. And you also gain a new view of the music, the written music. For example, Chopin wrote many little decorations in this music, and before I was, for example, just as an example, I played this like, or everyone plays every note as it's written, but now I think I understand that it's kind of, it was his way to improvise. He just noted this kind of improvisation, and I don't think he wouldn't have minded if someone would play some other note, as long as it's in the harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little notes he wrote out. I think it's fine when you play something else. I mean,
think about it, Annie. When you think of somebody like Chopin or Liszt, or, I mean, they had to be improvised and just sitting down at the piano before it was written down.
Yes.
To come up with these ideas. You don't come up with these ideas by having a pencil and saying, okay, what did I write last? It's got to have a flow to it. It's got to have an arc to it, which means that you probably have been playing and just having something go through you.
Yeah.
And we know from certain records that there were many composers that did improvise first, and then that became the written part. But I'm pretty confident that most of the great classical composers were also improvisers.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And especially the ones that played a keyboard instrument, you know, somebody like Bruckner or whoever, that you know that they were sitting around jamming on these ideas. And, you know, that's always been an inspiration for me too.
Yeah.
That the music is coming from somebody's essence, their id.
Yes.
And not from the pencil or the quill.
Pencil, give me something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's the computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great to know that it's not just the intellect, it's not just the cleverness of the tools that you're using to put it down, but it's this sense of spirituality, you know. And for me, since I'm not a religious person, in the traditional sense.
Okay.
I don't follow my birth religion path, not because I don't believe in it, but it's just, for me, music has become like my religion. So the spiritual aspects of the music are very important to me. They, in a way, help to shepherd me, perhaps in a way that I could have been shepherded by a religion, you know. So I put a lot of faith and emphasis into that art form that we have.
Yeah, I see.
And I try not to let it rest in what we consider this part of our brain, our mind, or our body, the brain or the mind. I try not to think of it as just being there.
Yeah.
Because it's a relatively small
Area.
part.
Yeah.
So maybe it's here in my
Who knows?
toe.
Maybe it's there.
Yeah, but more logically, it's not anywhere inside of me. It's around me.
Okay.
It's engulfing me with the vapors of understanding and the vapors of experience and awarenesses.
That's so beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's really beautiful. I had this, I don't know if it's an epiphany or something, but when I was studying, when I still just into classical music, I found this path as well, because sometimes I would listen to myself and then I would think, okay, this, what I'm doing now is not so clear. I mean, musically. And then I was reflecting on my life, and then I found that also decisions of my life weren't so clear during that time. So this gave me like this impression or the knowledge that everything is connected, and also that music helped me to develop myself as a person.
That is outstanding.
Yeah.
You got it. That's a big message that you got early on.
Yeah.
I wish that I would have been so clear and receptive. You know, it took me a long time.
Yeah. Well.
But when I look back, I see that was a golden opportunity that you seized, and that you said, "Yo, baby, carpe diem."
Yo.
I see that, you know, I was a little bit of a late bloomer and didn't catch everything the first chance that I had to catch it, but I keep trying, and you know, this also has helped me, I think, to reformat or reconsider how I look at music in general, and how I want to use music to maybe not substantiate, but to help regulate the rest of my life.
Okay.
So I try not to I try not to read music as much as possible, because I'm trying to play music not as an intellectual experience, but to play it as a kinetic experience.
Okay.
So even if I'm just playing without any, I'm not playing with other musicians, I'm trying to find how I feel in that moment.
Yeah.
And not have a preconception of what it is that I should be doing.
Just go with the flow.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes you're nervous because something happened, you know, somebody else is nervous, or
Yeah.
the things broke where you're supposed to play. All sorts of things can go wrong that make you a little bit on edge. So if you can use this system to help to relax you as well, and to remind yourself that being in the moment is really what everybody came to see. They didn't come to see you read the music or to be perfect. They want an experience.
Yes. A connection. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I think about these people who inspired me, you know, when I was lucky enough when I was younger to see a lot of, you know, I was more interested in pop music and rock and roll and what have you, but
A rock and roller.
yeah, but I had opportunities to see some musicians who were just outstanding, like Jimi Hendrix and Jeff Beck, and also a lot of the great blues musicians, Muddy Waters, and this had an impact on me just to feel what that experience was like. To not be listening to a record, or not to know that they're not reading music, it's just happening in front of me, and it's happening so good. It's like I couldn't imagine anything better in that moment.
Yeah.
So of course I thought, well, how do they do that, and how can I do that? And then I heard a voice, "You can't."
Oh no.
Then I said, oh, that's the wrong voice.
Skip that voice. Yeah.
But I did hear that voice for a while, just because I felt intimidated.
Oh, okay.
And then I eventually liberated myself and said, you know what, go for it.
Yes, just do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, just try.
Because nobody else can be me or you except for me and you.
Of course.
There's nobody waiting in the wings to say, oh, sorry, Mr. Cohen, you failed at being yourself. I'm going to take over here.
Yes, I'll be you and live your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you will cry.
Oh. Well, yeah, great. So I think for today.
There's nothing else you need.
Square
root of pi? No.
Some formula? I don't know.
I want to thank you so much, Anny,
No,
for
thank you for
inviting me onto the AnnyTime networks. And do you do commercials or anything like that?
If you want to, please.
Okay,
I still need more.
This is a giveaway, but we're not giving this away because this is a very treasured part of the AnnyTime studios. This is Hildegard.
Hildegard, hi.
And Hildegard is a fuzzy little animal, and you can get something just like this somewhere near you if you want to feel fuzzy.
Actually, I think we should take this to our next live concert, and really do a giveaway.
Dink, a dink, a dink, a dink, a dink.
Okay.
A dink, a doo, sing,
Yeah.
sing, a dink, a dink, a dink, a doo.
Now you see how our rehearsals are. Yeah, thank you so
Anny.
much. I love it.
Thank you.
And yeah, so thank you again. Danke euch allen fürs Zuschauen. Hello Günther, hello Dora. And yeah, thank you and goodbye. I'm sure we'll do another one.
Yes. There's still a lot of things we didn't talk about.
Yeah, but so keep the people
I give
curious.
you a Corona high one.
See you soon. Bye bye. Okay.
That's right, Fat Mama. See you soon. Stream from the fjords of Norway, brought down on a kayak by a mermaid,
Okay.
delivered to you freshly every day.
So, you,
I got everything I need.
okay, perfect. Just, yeah, let me just start working. Okay, okay, so.